They say when it rains, it pours. For us, it was a terrible, perfect storm. A storm we didn't see coming until it was already upon us. It started subtle. My gut kept whispering that something was off. Hollywood just seemed blah. For about a week or two, I just kept noticing that he seemed blah and he wasn't himself. I had mentioned it to others, but nobody really saw it. This is my reminder to always trust my gut. On March 13th, I had my regular lesson. It went okay, but I really had to keep leg on to keep him moving. In hindsight, and as we know, hindsight is always 20/20, over the few weeks or months leading up to this lesson, he may have tripped once or twice or felt like his left hind had dropped out occasionally, but then we'd have great rides and no issues at all. After this lesson on March 13th, I gave him a break, planning for my trainer's pro ride on March 19th. That day, when I tacked him up for my trainer, he seemed very lethargic. He hesitated to take the bit, something he has never done before. And when I stretched his front legs, he stumbled backwards. My trainer rode for about 10 minutes and said that she would schedule a vet visit because he felt off, like he was trying to tell her something, even though he still picked up his canter and moved off her leg. The vet was scheduled for March 25th, but then things began to progress so fast to me. On March 20th, he started resting his left hind foot a lot. He would stop every 5 steps or so when I would walk him in for turnout, especially on the small incline that was outside of his paddock. I would later learn that horses with EPM can struggle more with hills or when their head is elevated. In case you don't know, EPM stands for equine protozoal myoencephalitis. It is a neurological disease that is caused by protozoa passed through, of all things, a possum feces. It infects the central nervous system. So back to Hollywood. On March 23rd, he was very blah, wobbly, and clearly weak in the hind end. Same on the 24th. To me, the vet couldn't get out there soon enough. On March 25th, the vet finally came. She did a full neurological exam, x-rays of his neck, and full blood work testing for EPM, Lyme, Cushing's, and more. She started him immediately on Marquis paste to treat EPM, plus Banamine to help with the die-off reaction from this medication. I was warned that his symptoms may get worse before they get better. To be honest, I was really not prepared for what that would look like. On March 26th, the EPM test came back positive. Hollywood was becoming more uncoordinated. His hind legs crossed, and his back end swayed and was becoming weaker. Then, on March 27th, we got a second hit. He tested positive for Lyme's disease as well. The vet returned that evening to start IV oxytetracycline and then prescribed a 6-week course of minocycline, 20 pills in the morning, 20 pills in the evening. At this time, Hollywood started dropping weight rapidly as well. My trainer began feeding alfalfa cubes twice a day to disguise the medications and to boost his calories a little bit. And thankfully, Hollywood loved this medication treat. By March 31st, which was his first day off of Banamine, he looked worse. He was more wobbly, legs crossing, toe dragging. He just looked miserable. So after a call to the vet, we restarted Banamine for 3 more days and began stall rest. I could hand walk him carefully to promote circulation, and we also added liquid vitamin E for nerve support. On April 1st, he had had 7 doses of Marquis. Turning was still difficult, and he stayed in his stall. On April 3rd, he could walk in a straight line a little bit better, but he still had occasional wobbles and drunk steps. That day, while walking, he lost his balance with me and went down. It was terrifying. He laid there flat on his side for really what felt like forever, before he finally pulled himself back up to stand. I lost all of my confidence that day. On the days between April 4th through April 6th, my trainer walked Hollywood, and he still had drunken steps, swaying in the hind end. I don't really even have videos of those worst moments. I think I was really just too distraught to even think about filming. On April 7th, we began walking half a lap in the indoor. He was still toe dragging a lot, swaying, and his front legs were buckling. It was really terrifying for me to watch. He looked thinner and weaker. On April 8th, we added a lunchtime mash, and he really loved that. I think I may have to continue that for the rest of his life. It makes him so happy. On April 9th, he walked one full lap in the indoor arena. At this point, he was on day 15 of Marquis and day 12 of minocycline. On April 10th, I walked him again for the first time with my trainer by my side. I was so scared. His legs buckling really freaked me out, but we did it. By April 11th and 12th, he was showing slow and steady improvement. There was definitely less sway in the hind end. There was still toe dragging and some front leg buckling, which I am told is from weakness. By April 13th, I finally feel like he's coming back to me. I'm a little less afraid to walk him. And I'm proud to say that he is doing 2 laps in the morning and 1 lap in the evening. It's crazy though, because he does tire easily, but I can see the fight in his eyes. After about a half a lap, he starts to slow down and rest, and I can see the energy drain out of him. But with longer walks, we will build back muscle and blood flow and hopefully the nerve connections he needs to be my normal boy again. I am making this video in hopes to maybe comfort somebody going through this, because when Hollywood was on strict stall rest, all I can do was love on him and Google and go on YouTube and search for videos. And I was looking for a video like this, showing the progression, showing hope, showing improvement. I've also been incorporating massage into his daily care. I've been using a Theragun to gently stimulate blood flow and to help relieve some tension. I know it's not a cure, but I feel it helps support his circulation and blood flow, especially as his movement has been limited. I've also pulled out a few gentle techniques that I learned years ago from a Jim Masterson massage clinic. They focus on releasing built-up tension in key areas and helping him relax in a way that traditional methods can't always reach. But honestly, beyond the physical benefits, it's been healing for both of us. It's something that I can do for him, a way to connect, to comfort him, to care for him, when so much else feels out of my control. Some days I do think that it helps my heart as much as it helps his body. So this is our journey, our fight, and our hope for healing, for strength, and for brighter days ahead. I'll continue to post updates for those following along with Hollywood's recovery. If sharing this helps even one horse owner facing EPM, Lyme, or both, then it's worth it. And if you've walked this road with your horse, especially this double whammy, I'd be so grateful to hear any tips or treatments or words of wisdom that helped you get through. If you've made it this far, then you're a horse lover just like me, and I know we would do anything for these beautiful souls.